Amazing. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and start. We'll make sure that we send out this recording to anybody who RSVP'd, and then anybody else who is interested in it. If you do not see a direct link come through, please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly through IO Planner, and I can get you set up for success. But thank you all first and foremost for being here. For those who don't know me, my name is Sarah. I'm with IO Planner. I'm our COO, but kind of handle all operations, sales, and ex event pro here with 14 years in the industry in Southern California. So super excited to have you guys all on the call today. Really excited to have the opportunity to introduce Peter Buell and Adam Blower from CalUp to you guys and give you a little bit of visibility into this product that can really help elevate your guest's experience. So as with most companies, CalUp was kind of redefined for the events industry, specifically after Peter, one of the founders, received some feedback that there was really a need for the ability to communicate more directly for both the planner as well as the client with their guests leading up to and during the event day. Changes in itinerary, changes in timeline, changes in venue, delays, all of those fun things that we really want to be able to have that direct experience and that direct communication ability with our guests to give them the most valuable experience the day of the event as possible as well, which, as we all know, is one of our real strong focuses within the events industry in a whole is, it is about that end client experience. It's about your client directly, but their real focus is about their end client and the experience that their end guest and the experience that their guests are getting day of, and making sure everyone is happy and taken care of. So without much further ado, I'm excited to go ahead and introduce you to Pete Buell, one of the founders of CalUp, and Adam Blower, who is their director of sales and who's actually going to be taking you through the product today and giving you a bit more information on how this works, what opportunities they have for you as far as the planner, and how it can benefit your guests. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Adam.
Yeah, it's great to have everyone on. So, as I say, I'm kind of marketing support, do a variety of things at CalUp. How I like to class myself is I'm kind of a bit of a friendly face for planners. As you start getting into CalUp and you start using it a little bit more, you'll probably see me quite a bit. And I'll kind of be there to work with, essentially. So that's kind of my role within CalUp, helping out planners and helping people get set up, helping people really start to use the product for their business, which is really fun. And I'll also pass over now to Pete. Pete's our founder and has kind of been working on this. Pete, I'll let you intro yourself.
Okay. And so I started CalUp in 2020, but Adam's been with us almost since the inception. So over 3 years now. So we've been working together on this. And just briefly, so I've been involved in technology companies for years. Before CalUp, I started a company in the bicycle industry that was a software platform for bike shops called Beeline Connect. It's still going strong today. But we started CalUp in about 4 years ago. The general idea was to help events go more smoothly. That was kind of our kind of thinking point. And we thought that if everyone had a real-time event program on their phone, they'd be fully informed, they'd have less anxiety, they'd be better prepared to fully enjoy the event. And that's how we started. We did all kinds of events, from family reunions and bicycling camps, corporate events, and everything in between. And as Sarah mentioned, based on feedback from planners, we were constantly hearing that weddings needed something like this. And so we actually took a step back in 2022 and did 6 months of kind of intensive development to kind of repackage what we had as a wedding-specific solution for guest coordination and guest experience. And that's what you'll largely see today when you use the product. And the goal, again, was just to enhance that guest experience, make planners' life a little bit easier by preemptively answering, hundreds of guest questions, so they're not asking you or the couple those questions on the wedding day or leading up to it, and giving you a way to message seamlessly with individuals, groups, as you need to throughout the day. And we'll get more into that in the demo that Adam will provide shortly. And you can even use it as a tool to communicate with your vendors as well in the process, which is a kind of an interesting use case.
Yeah.
So that's a quick intro on me and CalUp. And let's jump in here. Just the agenda real quick. We'll take you through the product, pricing, the new revenue opportunity for you guys to build your business. Adam will do the demo. And then we'll show you a couple cool features. We've got a new mobile wed admin, so you can totally administer the product on your phone while you're at the wedding, which is a new element. And then we'll give you an example of how you can incorporate this into your aisle planner checklist as well. So we've got an example for that, and then we'll take some questions.
Sure.
Next, Adam.
Yeah, all good. So I'll run you through a little bit more of what CalUp is, and kind of what this is. Pete, do you want to quickly run through this one first, and then I'll kind of talk more about the product?
Yeah, so just to highlight, again, level set is enhancing guest experience. This is the #1 priority for couples. As you know, we heard it at Wedding MBA this year, is guest experience. So we want to do that, but we also, while doing that, we want to make your life a little bit easier as a planner. And so this is really about keeping guests informed and having fun, get them to exactly where they need to be, when they need to be there. And we use kind of visual meet point cues and other kind of interesting techniques to make that happen so that it's very intuitive for folks. As I mentioned, preemptively answer questions, but what that's really doing is reducing anxiety. So even your guests that are coming to the wedding have some anxiety about, am I dressed right? You know, am I at the right place? Am I on time? And this helps kind of resolve all those kind of uncertainties. And super importantly is give you guys a chance to generate more revenue in the context of your business. And we'll get into that more.
Yeah.
Adam, why don't you take it over and give a little kind of more specifics on the product and go towards the demo.
Sounds good. Okay, so this is what CalUp looks like. I think it's always useful to kind of start off and give a brief idea of what CalUp is. So there's the guest app component to CalUp, and there is the planner component to CalUp. The guest app obviously is mainly going to be used by the guests. And as you can see here, mobile app, super easy to get into for the guests. It was really designed with the guests in mind. We put a long time spent into this app to make sure it's super easy for guests to get into, easy to navigate, kind of easy enough to use, basically. As soon as they get the app, they log in with their phone number, they'll see their personalized wedding program. So that on the left is an example of what a personalized wedding program looks like. You've got a welcome party, you've got every single thing that you're attending at the wedding will have its own little tile like that. And it's just really nice to look at as well as the guests come in. You'll kind of see more in the demo, but what you can do is you can click on each of those tiles and it expands and gives you more details. It'll give you all the timings, exactly where to be and when. And some of those are the details as well that Pete was mentioning, such as, the meeting points, that kind of thing. You can also do guest text messaging as part of CalUp. So that doesn't exist inside the app. That's obviously text messaging. But I'll show you how you can send those too. I've actually already spoken with a couple of planners, they may be on here as well, who are actually very interested in the guest messaging side of this. So I'll make sure we highlight that quite a bit. That's a big feature that a lot of people like about CalUp, is being able to combine kind of, the program side of it and the text side of it. And again, I've included there on the end, kind of like the candid photo sharing element of CalUp as well. So inside that app, you can collect all the guest photos and really easily share that back to the couple. So it's just kind of one more value add for your clients as well at the same time. So that is the guest app. That's where all the guests,
Adam,
the couple. Yeah, go ahead.
Adam, let me so two things that Adam said were important. One is easy to use. So we did a whole bunch of beta testing on older adults, starting with my 80-plus-year-old parents to make sure it was usable and that sort of thing. So we did a bunch of testing just to make sure that everybody who wanted to use it could easily use it. So, be assured that it is intuitive and straightforward. And the other piece that we haven't really talked about too much is guests, but, kind of one component of the guest is the wedding party, who are doing a lot of activities. And so you can use this as a way to kind of speak to them as a group as well and give them specific events for the wedding party standalone, kind of isolated from kind of all the guests. So as Adam gets into the demo, you'll see more of that.
Yeah, it's a great example as well. There's a couple of events in the demo where I'll kind of show you just those wedding party specific things that I'll talk through. So yeah, as I was saying, this is kind of where 95% of the guests, where the guests are going to spend 95% of their time, all in the app. You, however, as the planner, are going to spend most of your time inside of CalUp Planner. So what this is where you'll create the personalized programs. If you see on the left, that's like a typical dashboard. So that'll give you access to kind of change all the events, create them. You're going to do everything inside of here. This is also the place where you can send texts prior to the wedding. You can manage all of your CalUp weddings from this one account. And you're basically going to do most of your work inside of here. So I'll show you that as we get into it. But that's just the way to think about CalUp. App is for the guests, and you as the planner will be spending your time on the CalUp Planner site. And I think it's always great to just start off with our pricing as well. Our pricing is probably a little bit different to some people in the sense that CalUp is a per wedding priced product. So you only pay for CalUp for each wedding you'd like to use it for. As you can see, our normal pricing, which is crossed out, it's around $30, $50, or $70. And that's all depending on the number of invited guests. But as part of the partnership, we've obviously got a great price for you guys. So 20% discount on all that pricing, and that's going to be good all year round, which we're very happy about. So you can start at $24 for a wedding, and that's for up to 100 invited guests, which is less than way less than the cost of a stamp per guest. And that includes every kind of feature on it as well. That's texting, the programs, all that kind of thing. So to get that pricing, all you need to do is sign up for a trial by February 15th. We'll get in touch with you. Obviously, make sure you're an Owl Planner customer. You're part of the Owl Planner community, and then you'll be able to get these codes as well. There'll be personalized codes for each person. So we'll get them all out kind of within 24 hours of signing up. But we're really excited to kind of see people get started there. The other big part to mention is that you're all going to get a free first wedding just to give this a try and see how you want to include it for your business as well. So that free first wedding, you can be used whenever. As you get into it, you kind of pick your first wedding you'd like to use it for, give it a go, and then hopefully continue using it as you like it. And Peter, I just want to pass over here. So this was a big thing for us. Obviously, there is the cost to the software, but that can be passed straight through to clients normally. But we wanted to make this big point on our call today about showing you how you can use CalUp to generate new revenue. So Peter, I'll pass over to you here on this one.
Yeah, we've seen a variety of different approaches from planners. Most planners today are just adding it to their list of services as a kind of a value-added service on top of their full service package, their day of package, their month of package. We have seen a few people included in their full service planning package and just incorporate it in. And from a kind of a time perspective, you really get involved in CalUp setting up probably 30 to 60 days before the wedding. So it's happening kind of in the back end once you have kind of the events all nailed down and the guest list is largely complete. And once you get into the using the system and you're a little bit familiar with it, it's 2 to 3 hours of work to kind of get a wedding set up and looking really nice on the system. And this is rough, but I would say the average incremental revenue and existing to charging clients for the software price is $200 to $400 per wedding. We've seen a lot higher. We've seen some people, do it for less, but I would say that's the average that we've seen right now. And it really just depends on your business and your pricing. But we're excited to create an opportunity for you to kind of expand, enhance your business and, add $200 to $400 of services onto each wedding if that works. And we've seen this applicable for all kinds of weddings, whether it be even small weddings, with a maybe kind of more wedding party-ish, as small as like 30 to 50 people. And then certainly for large, more complex weddings, multi-venue weddings that have transportation between locations where there's kind of coordination things. And even destination weddings. We've had a number of destination weddings that have been used in kind of countries throughout the world. So it's really a kind of a broad-based solution, and you can customize it to whatever type of situation you have.
Yeah. No, exactly. I was happy we had a few destination weddings already in the UK, which is great, and I kind of helped out on those as well. So I'm always going to plug that one and be happy there. But no, that's great. So I think we're probably ready just to jump into the demo and actually show you what it looks like. As I go through it, obviously, ask any questions you'd like as I go through. I'll show you what the phone looks like first, and I'll pull that up first. Show you all of that. If you've got any questions I'm going through, please just drop them in the chat. I'll see them, and we can go through anything. And then I'll go over to the planning side of things and show you a bit from that side as well, just so you've got a good idea of how both of these things look. So let me pull this over. If I do this, can you see this, or will I need to?
We still see your CalUp demo screen.
Okay, let me just do a new share here. So how's this?
Yep, we see the phone.
All good. Okay, so this is my demo wedding. This is Olivia and Michael's wedding, and it has a few events to it. It has a welcome reception and dinner, some rehearsal stuff, and then a couple of other events on top. Obviously, the ceremony, reception, and some photos as well. So that's kind of the context for this. As we look through, I kind of scroll through here. There's a rehearsal dinner. I did include in here hair and makeup. Now, one thing I kind of want to really clarify here is that you will only see on this app like what you're invited to. I think that's the you'll only see what whatever you're invited to. So if I was to click in there, it says 12 people are going. It's a way smaller number than obviously what's coming to the full wedding. So let me go back and start this from the top. So as you come in, all the events are in a chronological order, obviously. So you go in, and this is what a typical event detail screen looks like. You've got a nice picture at the top. We can put the picture as anything you'd like. In this case, this welcome reception dinner is at Convivo. So I put that kind of image there. You can add any custom descriptions you'd like here. People put any kind of information they want in here, or any kind of nuance that needs to be needed in here. So, for example, I've got, everyone staying at the hotel, we recommend using Uber or Lyft to get to this because there's no shuttle on in this case. On the weekend, there will be a shuttle for the ceremony, but there's not a shuttle for this welcome reception and dinner. So I've put that in there. People can actually then group chat in here. If they want to start ride sharing, setting that up, that could in theory go on in here as well, because there are group chats that you can control. And there's a couple of extra features on each event detail screen as well that I want to show off. So you can have links and PDF to every single event on CalUp. So if I open this, you can link straight into the Convivo restaurant website. You could put anything you'd like in there. Any kind of custom link. We see that used in a variety of ways. And it's the same with the PDF as well. So here I thought I'd put in kind of a menu. We see people putting like playlists in here for the wedding, that kind of thing. All sorts. And this is kind of one example.
So one point real quick, Adam, is all these features that you see in each event are optional, right? You can add, you don't have to put a link in, you don't have to put a PDF in, and you don't have to enable group chat, but they're all things that you can do on a per event basis if you'd like to. Yeah. So understand that it's fully customizable and controllable by you.
Yeah. And it's the same with photo sharing as well as we get into that. Show that. So I come back to this hair and makeup one. What I put in this one, for example, is the specific timings of each person getting ready. This is why I see this used a lot on our weddings, where you kind of can put their own like wedding party schedule in there just to make sure people stay on track. I see this used a lot. So I wanted to include that. And if I show you the wedding ceremony now, this is where I wanted to show the photo sharing. So our photo sharing works in a specific way. You will only see the photos of the kind of parts of the wedding you're invited to. So if you wanted to have, guys getting ready event, that kind of thing, or any kind of other things, behind the scenes photo shoot, maybe something like that, or a kind of first look, maybe a bad example, actually, the first look, you wouldn't want a photo in there. But either way, there's a couple examples there where you just want photos to be shared privately. That's how this works. So because I'm obviously invited to the ceremony, I can see all the ceremony photos. You can scroll through them here. And as the planner, you can also get these out from the web as well. So you can just kind of download them all and send them over to your client. So
click on the location hint, Adam.
Yeah, I'm going to show that in this one. So I've got a full location hint as well here. So this would be, for example, some post-ceremony photos. We're going to have this just for the wedding party and family, so only they would be invited here. And then you click View Map. That would pull you straight into the map. This is all connected up. You can open that up.
That's Google Maps. So yeah. The map is Google Maps, which is kind of a general location.
Yeah, and then we have this meet point as well, which shows you exactly where to go. A lot of our planners make these in Canva, or any kind of other tool you're using. But you can make these up quite quickly, and they're just great for like shuttle bus pickups, that kind of thing. If you have a venue map, you can use them as well. There's a bunch of different ways you can use these, and they're all kind of customizable. So that's the core of this, but I do see some questions coming in the chat, so I want to just kind of address these now as we're going through. So let me pull these up and start having a look at some questions.
Adam, maybe let's do the demo and do the questions at the end because we're getting a ton of questions.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just saw a couple come in, but no, it's fine. I can come back. Yeah. No, it's fine. No, okay. So that's pretty much it for the main kind of event section of the phone. As I say, this would look different depending on whoever's invited.
Show just go click into the welcome reception dinner real quick, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you have photos turned on for this one, or
photos are off here?
Photos are off. Do one that has photos on. Maybe does hair and makeup have photos on?
Ceremony does, yeah.
Ceremony does. Okay. Yeah. So if you go on and can I add a photo? Oh, you don't have.
I actually have turned ceremony photos off here. So this is just for the host to upload photos. That's
Oh,
also a
okay,
different
okay.
thing we allow, where just the host can upload photos here.
So there is a way for, if you turn it on for each of these events, you can allow people to share, to take photos and share them within the group there. So if it's hair and makeup, it's only the people in hair and makeup are sharing photos amongst themselves. You as administrator have access to all those photos, but it's a great way to get kind of candid photos for different events. And it's just a little value added perk that you can give back to your couples at the end and share the photos back with them for whatever purposes they want.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we're probably pretty good for this. For kind of the main core part of the phone app.
Yeah,
You
we
can
can
also
come-
go to
we-
photos and check there, and chats as well. So you can go to chats and see the chat screen as well as photos, and all the photos will load in here. Give it a second. My Wi-Fi is not great across all the Zoom stuff, but the photos will come in there as well. Okay.
So each event that has photos associated with it will show up in the My Photos tab at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you jump to the web?
Yeah, I'll show the web now. I'll keep the phone open in case we want to come back to it for the questions. So let me just stop sharing for a second and I'll switch over.
Okay, I'll answer one question while you switch over. Somebody asked, will the couple be able to edit the event or just the administrator? So you can assign up to 3 co-admins to an account. That's a great question. And so you can share it with, an assistant planner, somebody in the couple, and they can edit those events as well if you appoint them as a co-admin for the account. And you have up to 3 per wedding.
So we're ready to go here on this one. And how does this look, guys? Does this look all good?
Yeah, make it a little bigger, zoom in a little bit.
Zoom in a little bit. There you go.
Let me
Okay.
just answer a question that just came in real quick, just because. Is the platform something accessible to general public as well, or established business planner can access only? So, I guess, a couple could sign up for the service directly and learn how to use the software and do it. But really, this is designed for planners. And so, the value add that you're adding by creating the wedding in the platform and adding it to the service is kind of the objective here. It's kind of, we don't block somebody else individual from ordering it. But I don't know if that answers the question. And you would get a different pricing, than the couples as well. So if there's more questions on that, we can come back to that one. But it's really designed for planners to add services around. And I think if a person was doing it for a one-off wedding, they could spend a bunch of hours learning the software. But it probably would not be a good use of their time as a couple. And then having them administer it during the wedding would be even more, kind of challenging.
No, I think you're right there. Okay, so this is what the planner tool looks like. So this is the same kind of account that matches up with the phone I showed. So you'll see all the same kind of titles, the welcome reception and dinner at Convivo, that kind of thing. So these all sync up. So what I would show you is we've got a couple of ways to get started really quickly and get like a first draft of events out there. So you're going to create draft events and the wedding creator tool. I think I've already ran this with my account, so I may have some information saved in there. Yeah. So I have Olivia and Michael's wedding, put their names in, and then all you'll need to do is just choose which events you have running here. So let's say in this case, we have a welcome reception and a rehearsal dinner and a rehearsal and a wedding reception. All you would do is put in the locations of each one, click create, and then you're good to go. And that's it. That'll give you the basic outlines of the drafts. So I won't do it because I already have mine on my dashboard, but if I go back.
Hold on, Adam. Okay, so what you saw in there is you saw a default location, and that default location gets assigned each one. So if you have a primary location where the wedding is taking place, those will populate, but you can change them to any other location, if it's a restaurant nearby or that sort of thing. And you just do that kind of in the flow.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So that's what it'll look like. And as you come back to here, you'll see status, everything will be in draft mode. So your couple won't be able to see anything yet, all that kind of thing. Everything will be in draft mode, ready for you to work on. What I wanted to do was I wanted to quickly show like what the start from scratch mode looks like. This is where you can make any.
Go ahead. You were going to say what I said.
Yeah, this is where you can make any type of event in here. So what I could do here, for example, is I could make a shuttle event. That's kind of what I had in mind. So like ceremony, shuttle transport. And I'll quickly go through this, but I'll show you kind of some of the things you do. So if you pick a category and subcategory here, it will give you a photo. So we've got shuttle transport, and it's going to put a photo in. The wedding's taking place.
You can customize that photo to whatever you want, by the way.
Yeah. You can just click here and put that as any photo you'd like. Start date on a Saturday, obviously for the wedding. Yeah, I think it's 10:30. That's going to end at 10:45. Nearby, by the looks of it. And then you would just go through, add any details. Please be waiting 5 minutes prior to the shuttle arriving. Any kind of nuance of details you need to add here, you put all in here, and that'll all be there.
So quick, just real pause for a second, Adam. So go up a little bit more.
Yep.
So you can change the address location, and that can be any Google location,
yep.
Which is right there. You can so you pick a location, you select here, and it automatically syncs with Google Maps for the person on the phone. Going down further, you can pick a location hint. And so this is images that we showed earlier. So this location hint, you just choose a file and you upload that image, and that image will show right in the app in that event, so people can get directed to a very specific meet point if necessary. The next button is you can add a co-host to the event. So this is actually a person, and sometimes planners just make themselves the co-host in the event, where you can actually be inside the app, editing the events on the fly on your phone while you're at the event, which is super handy.
Yeah.
The next button is add invitees group. So this is where you would add which people are going to this event. So maybe it's just the people staying at the hotel who are going to be on the, on the shuttle that you would add to this event. And then below that, below the text details, it's basically the link, if you want to add a link, if you want to add a PDF document, are those two sections. And then all the settings in terms of, do you want people to get text updates if the event changes? Do you want them to get email updates or push notifications? Do you want to send out event reminders? All these are customizable on a per event basis. Similarly with, do you want them to be able to group chat or share photos? All that's customizable on a per event basis. And we have most of the defaults turned off on these so that they only go on if you want them to go on.
Yeah, exactly. So once you kind of got a first pass through on this, you can just click Save as Draft, and that'll show you what these draft events look like. I can also mark the event as complete. So if we're not ready to go quite yet, to send them out to the guests, but you're complete with your content there, just save that and click OK. And that was marked here as like with the tick.
So the draft event is a tick, yeah.
Yeah. So the next part to do would then be to add some contacts. We import from all kind of major wedding websites, and we will very shortly be importing from our planner as well. But you can import from those places, or you can just use your own spreadsheet as well. That also works. You can import contacts in. I'll quickly show that for a second. So yeah, import from a third party, and you can choose an import, or you can use our own CalUp spreadsheet there, and that'll pull all the guests in for the wedding. The next step is then to go and make some groups. So here I gave some examples. I've got like all guests, the hotel guests, and the close family and the bridal party. These are just my examples. The reason groups are so useful here is you can message groups without them being invited to an event. So if you know you're going to need to text the hotel guests and say, I actually had an example before we jump on. If say everyone's staying at the hotel and on the Sunday you're all going to grab breakfast together, you can send everyone a text saying, okay, the couple are going to head down for breakfast in half an hour. You can all come down with us, that kind of thing. There's a couple of other kind of, there's lots of ways you could use that. But the groups don't need to necessarily be tied to an event to send them a text message. Once you've got all your groups in there, you would come back to the dashboard. And you can add them all to all of the events in the right kind of places. So bulk actions, and then add the groups. My group's obviously already all invited, but I can add groups to the ceremony transport. And here I'm going to add my hotel guests. So I'd go in there and save those to the event. And now they're pretty much ready to go. They can't see anything yet, but they're pretty much ready to go. What will then happen is once you have confirmed, and you're all set across the board, you would then start to publish the events.
One thing, Adam, that many planners do is they will publish the events to themselves on the phone, just to make sure, as they're getting up to speed on this. Once you've done it a few times, you're comfortable. But the first time through, you might publish it to yourself and the bride, or a helper, just to kind of show what it's going to look like before you add, the larger groups to it. And that's a good way to kind of do a test run and make sure it looks like, everybody expects it to look.
Yeah, exactly. And that way, obviously, you're seeing the full guest experience for yourself. And on that note, I would also, as a planner, always make sure you're invited to all of your own events and that kind of thing, so you can see everything going on. Make sure you're in all your own events is normally a big tip we offer. So once everything's kind of done all there and you're all published, the final step to make sure people actually get the app, and I'm sure this came up as a question earlier anyways, how people actually realize they're invited to the app, is you would click Share Wedding Program. Once you click here, you'll have a list of guests. Let me pull here. So I've got a list of guests here who haven't been notified that they've got a CalUp program waiting for them. You can just click this and invite them all, and you could send that there and then. That would then send everyone a text saying, hey, so-and-so's wedding has invited you to a wedding in CalUp. Here's the link to join the app. And that's what they would then see.
There's a question down here, Adam. So you can use email or text as a invite mechanism. So in this case, demo, Adam actually has emails in here. If you have a phone number, they can get a text message as well. And so you can do email and phone only. Honestly, phone only is more streamlined. With email, we've taken steps to make it really easy for them to onboard with the app. We send a QR code that they can scan with their phone and get right into the app. And we've made that really easy to do. But you can invite people both from email and from phone.
Yeah.
And they can,
Yeah. Super easy to get in there. And when they get on the app, like if you've done the phone only method that Pete's saying, they sign up with their phone number, so they don't even really have to register to get that wedding's events or anything like that. The system knows that's that person and just puts on their app, which is also super private as well.
Yeah, so they verify if they were invited by email and you didn't have their phone number, they would go in, they would sign into the app with their phone number, they would verify their email, and that would associate the two elements together. And then you would be able to send them a text message through that process.
Yeah. So once you've done all that, you are pretty set and you've got your wedding up and going. I think it is useful to show the texting side of things. So to do texting here, you'll come to messages. You can send a text in the app. We call that in-app messages, obviously. And that will go out kind of inside the app. Some people put welcome messages in there or things that aren't really pressing information. That's normally the best place to put that kind of info. If you want to send an urgent message, we normally go SMS just to make sure everyone gets it. And a question that always comes up, I actually haven't checked the chat, so I'm not sure if it's in now, but a question that always comes up is, can people still see the text if they don't get the app? So we see great numbers of people getting the app. We kind of average about 70% plus for download rates for the app. But you actually can still see the texts even if you don't get the app. So you can still kind of be reliant on the fact that everyone's still got that information as you're sending it out. So if I go to SMS, this does open a new tab, so you can still see this, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can go to the group.
So really, yeah, here. So
let me pull up.
So go back, Adam. Just X out of that for a second.
Oh.
So here you can message an event. So if you click on message event, it will search the events, and you can message all the invitees to a given event. So that would be hair and makeup. It would just go to the hair and makeup people. Ceremony would go to everybody going to the ceremony. And then you can also message specific contacts, individuals directly. If you have one person who's running late, hey, Johnny, where are you? You can message them. And you can also message groups, as Adam alluded to before. So close family, you can send a message to. It's like, hey, everybody get down for the photo shoot.
This will very quickly show you the process. This is Pete's account. Pete's invited to the wedding here, and just say, hey Pete, photo shoot is starting. I send this to Pete, and he'll get this text straight away. And it's as simple as that. It'll kind of come from the wedding. So that's I think pretty much the demo. I do want to jump into the chat just to see if there's anything people want to see whilst we're going through this. Do you think it's a good time to do it, or do you want to keep going, Pete?
Yeah, you want to answer questions, you mean, or what?
I think just in case anyone
Yeah.
kind of has anything on the demo just right
Yeah.
now, I thought might be nice to kind of address any questions immediately, or you want to kind of save them for Q&A at the end.
Um, uh, there's so many questions. Let's keep going and do them at the end.
Okay,
So we get
okay,
through.
no, fair enough, fair enough. I appreciate everyone kind of asking all the questions. It's great to see stuff.
So
So,
I'll talk to this one. A new feature is the mobile web admin. So this is basically a mobile view for messaging that you can have. So there's two ways as a planner to kind of connect, with the event. One is to make yourself an admin or a co-admin as we showed in the setup. So then you actually have the events on your phone and you're seeing them just like everybody else's, but you're a co-admin. So you can actually edit and change the events on the fly on your phone. What this mobile admin, web admin does is it's another tool that helps you do messaging to everybody. So, and it's not coming from you, from your phone, it's coming from the CalUp system to everybody. So it kind of keeps your own text messaging from getting polluted with thousands. We've talked to planners who have 8,000 people in their WhatsApp or text threads, which is kind of a mess over time. So here you can message people individually for the wedding, either via in-app message or SMS text. And it's super handy on kind of day of when everything's kind of harried.
yeah.
And so there's lots of ways that you can, reasons why you might want to send a text, hey, changes or updates, if it's raining and you're moving indoors, photo shoot starting, gathering. We've seen people do like they do a preemptive one 15 minutes before the ceremony. Hey, everybody silence your phones. This is a, silent wedding. So and people get their dings before the ceremony actually starts. We've even seen planners kind of march people throughout the day because there was things throughout the city happening, and so they were sending a message, okay, now move to this place and that sort of thing. So I would say the average person is sending out a couple of texts, and we've seen people do dozens of texts, depending on the kind of the wedding and kind of the vibe of the wedding, and people are kind of up for that. So it really depends on your style.
No, exactly. And this is the checklist as well. If you want to cover this.
And so we created a template checklist that we'll actually share with you guys. So if you want to add this to your aisle planner checklist, you can edit your checklist inside aisle planner. And this is just an example of some bullet points that you might want to add, just so that you're kind of, as you're marching through that checklist and getting ready for wedding day, you can be coordinating this element of the process too, and use it as a sales tool into the wedding process to say, hey, do you want to upgrade to the kind of a guest coordination element? Is that something you're interested in or not? And a lot of times what happens is as you get close to the wedding day, people get nervous, and how are we going to do this and how are we going to communicate that? And CalUp is a perfect tool to kind of slot in at that point to kind of calm those nerves and help with communication around the wedding day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, cool. What do you got next?
So this is just how to get started. We'll jump over to Q&A, and I can show more on this and kind of actually signing up. But I do want to get into the questions. We've got a lot of questions, and I appreciate everyone's time with 15 minutes. So I think we've got a lot to get through. And
let me jump into them, Adam, and I'm just going to go quickly through.
Okay.
And so the first one is, so I'm going to start from the most recent first. Sorry for the first people. We'll get to them. Do guests have to download the app? As Adam mentioned, they do to get the full wedding program experience. But even if they don't download the app and you have their phone number, you can still send them text messages so they can get those. But as Adam said, we've seen about 70% adoption of people invited to the wedding using the app. And typically, the people who are not using it, one person, if a couple's going to the wedding, one of the spouses will have the app and one won't. And so that's why we're seeing about 70% adoption. Can text messages be pre-scheduled automatically and sent a specific date? Not yet, but it's in the queue as a feature that we're developing. That's a great question. So now I'm gonna go up from here.
Something else, yeah.
Can guests message the planning team via the app if they have specific questions? Can guests message? So if you have group chat turned on in the event, they can send a message to that event, and you will see those messages as well. So the answer is yes. So basically, hair and makeup, for example, hey, where are we meeting? Just the hair and makeup people will see that, but if you're in that event, you'll see that message as well, or as an admin on your CalUp Planner account, you'll see that as well. So yes.
Yep.
Let's see.
Do you want me to go to the top of the question just so I can get the early ones as well? We'll do
You
like,
go to the top, and I'll start.
that's what I was thinking, so we can get both.
We'll rotate. Your turn.
Yeah. So someone asked, are guests invited through a link, or do you have to import each guest through their phone number? So as I was kind of showing on the contacts, it's phone number or email, but they do need to be invited through one or the other. We've got that for a variety of reasons. One of the most important is just security. You know that everyone's seeing your details on the app, seeing your photos. They're all people you've actually invited, which is a big thing for us in general and for a lot of our clients. So that's the main reason as to why you invite each person specifically.
Okay, then my turn. Am I able to DD my entire team on wedding day so that my assistants may handle guest communications if they need? Yes, you can assign your team as up to 3 co-admins on an account. You can also add them as invitees to the event, and if group chat's turned on, they'll be seeing everything that's going on in the event. So there's multiple ways to handle that. Your turn, Adam.
Yeah. Next one from me was, is the pricing per AP user logged in for the wedding a one-time fee per wedding for the whole team plus client? Let me just read that again so I understand fully what you're saying. It is for, so if you're talking in regards of like how many seats you have to pay for on CalUp, you get 3 co-admin, as Pete's saying, per account. You don't have to pay per user on your team. That's fine. You just pay for the wedding once and you get the three co-admins of access. That's fine. That in that sense, you just pay for the wedding once.
Is there a way to recognize it? Is there a way to automate how Apple recognizes this phone number? The answer is not really. They get the invite, and when they go in to verify their phone number, the system recognizes that person was an invited person, and then automatically populates their My Events tab with all the events that they've invited to. So it's kind of a quasi-recognized, but it's not an Apple specific thing.
Yeah.
And this works on Android and Apple. So
that's good. It's good to mention. Yep.
Yeah.
It's across both. I had one up here on the top saying, is this meant to replace wedding websites or be in addition to? So from our end, we see wedding websites as great starting point. But what often happens with wedding websites is they're static and the details don't get updated too often. That kind of thing. We want CalUp to be like we have CalUp as the most up-to-date, relevant information with kind of the texting side of things as well. So some people use wedding websites or whatever else for maybe like an RSVP side of things, but then move stuff over to CalUp.
Yeah. Same question. Who provides the guest contact information? So, the guest contact information has to get into the CalUp system in order to have guests join the app. Typically, the couple is providing the planner, with the guest list, and we see some planners that don't get involved in that information. With CalUp, they most likely would. You can also make the couple or the couple's helper or whoever that is a co-admin so that they can put the guest list in and they can create the groups. So we've seen that happen as well. So it can be either way, but you do have to get that information into the system to make it work. What does the email look like? We can send you can easily do tests if you get a trial and send yourself the emails, but we've made it professional and very specific to the wedding, and it looks good on mobile and on PCs and Macs.
Yeah. I had one up here that's actually quite liked. It's got 6 likes on this one, so I'll make sure we do this one because I think a lot of people are asking. Is it possible to replace CalUp branding on the app with our own business branding? So there's something that's comes up quite frequently. My demo probably gave a bit of a bad example of where CalUp is because my phone. Let me go back so you've got any screenshots. Yeah, my phone has the CalUp logo as my profile picture because I'm a CalUp admin. But there's normally just the one CalUp logo in the app. This is where the profile picture goes of the user. So there's the one CalUp logo up here. So this can't be replaced, but that's just so people recognize, obviously, they're coming into the app. It's all the CalUp app. They know they're in the right place for the wedding. It's the same way they would do it kind of for a lot of other kind of apps and stuff like that. So the branding can't be replaced, but you can always brand kind of the photos on the event. So if you see what takes up, obviously, the main part of this screen here is this photo. This can have your own logo in the corner, that kind of thing. You can always add that kind of thing. You can also, if you want, you can have like an overview event like this and link your own website. That's also an option for some people as well. So there are ways to add your own branding to this. You just can't strip out entirely the CalUp branding. That makes sense.
Yeah, and we've seen people brand the meet points, have basic meet points for all the facilities that they do. We've seen people brand the PDFs that are attached to the document. So there's different ways to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'll jump in quickly on another one because it's similar. We've already kind of addressed it. But it's will the couple be able to edit these events as well, or only as the administrator? That's up to you. Some people don't want the couple in kind of editing things, and some people are more than happy to jump in with the couple. So you're more than welcome to add the couple as one of the co-administrators on the account, and then they can go in and make edits as well.
Okay, we got a clarification one on the mobile admin and so how can the planner access the project the day of the event? So you can access it through the website, as Adam has shown. You can access it if you're a co-host in the event and see it just like everybody else, but you have admin controls over there, edit controls over that event on your device, so you can change and update it. And you can also access it through the mobile web admin, which is a tool that allows you to do the text messaging to the events. So I know it seems like a lot, but once you do it once, it's pretty straightforward, kind of what the different aspects are for.
Yeah. So I have my last one to catch up, and then I think I'm joining you at the recent ones. So we have for hair and makeup, or a special group for that. Can you add the vendor there as well? Like, could the beauty team be in there and access the photo, chat with the ladies? Absolutely. Add them as an invitee. They can chat, they can share photos. Realistically, they're probably taking photos, kind of doing the kind of candid photos as they're going through. So they can share them all straight away in there. They can remind them on in the morning and send a chat in the morning, so remind everyone, turn up kind of fresh faced and that sort of stuff. Yeah, all that kind of things can happen, and that's across everything. You can do one for groomsmen getting ready, all that sort of stuff.
I got a good one here. Can I set my own for an event, for example, in German words? What does the overview look like if I have 5 weddings? Okay. So yes, all those names of events are customizable for whatever language you're using, or you can call them whatever. We've seen a lot of different what do you say, different kind of cultural weddings and things like that, where there's all kinds of events that have different names that are
fusion weddings as well. It's kind of cross-cultural weddings as well.
Yeah. And so you can customize all that to your heart's content. What does the overview look like if I have 5 weddings? So each wedding is compartmentalized, right? But if you personally have 5 weddings on the same weekend that you're inviting yourself to, it's going to get confusing on the device, on the phone itself, because you'll see a lot of stuff on there. You'll see 5 ceremonies on that thing. They'll all be time-based and they'll show up in time order. But if you have 5 weddings on the same weekend, it's going to get, for you as an admin in the phone, you're gonna have to kind of pay attention to make sure you're looking at the right wedding.
Yeah. I actually have a couple more up here, so I'll keep going on. There's a couple I'll do kind of back to back. How much time does this take to set up? It really depends once you get up to speed. I've now done so many of these, I can do them in about an hour. I also think it's way faster for planners to do them because you know all the details at the top of your head, so you haven't got to go looking for details anywhere. You're already deep in the wedding, and you know where things are taking place, the timings. Obviously, you can have something to reference, but if you've got all those details to hand, you can really get into this quite quickly. So that's one factor. It also depends how complex the wedding is or how many different things you've got going on. It's a huge multi-venue thing in a destination thing. They've got like all these events taking place. It might take a little bit longer, but on average, I think most planners can do this in between 1 to 3 hours. Is my personal opinion on how long I've seen and worked with planners on it for. And the other one is
Adam has done a bunch of like setups for planners. We have a concierge service that some planners take advantage of, where we do the setup work, and I think you got it down to kind of a couple hours. Once you have the
once
kind
you know,
of the activities and the guest list. So
once you've done a few, you get there. And then I'll go back to back on this one quickly. Is there a size limit for uploaded photos and video as possible? So size limit is Pete, just clarify with me on this, but we don't have a size limit from the phone.
There's no limit on number of photos and video. We don't support videos right now.
Yeah, no video, but there is no size limit on uploaded photos.
No. There's a question about somebody couldn't get into the Netherlands. We don't have so we're turning on countries as we have planners come on and request those countries. And so Netherlands is not turned on yet. Portugal, I saw Portugal, and Portugal is not turned on yet either. But as you sign up for an account, let us know. So, people are doing weddings all over the place, and just for kind of spam prevention purposes, we turn on countries kind of as need be, as opposed to turning on the entire world. So let us know and just send a message to support. And it takes us about 24 hours to get a country set up.
Yeah. And speaking of kind of support and that kind of thing anyways, there's just a general message saying, is there a customer service number and what are their working days and hours? So we don't have a phone number you can call, but we have the info at getcalup.com. You will get a response on there generally within a couple of hours, at a longest period, kind of 24 hours. You can also, though, book a demo or book a call with one of us. Normally it's with me. We could kind of jump on a call as well. Kind of part of our team can just jump on and help you out with any kind of issues. You can also, on those Google Meets calls, screen share your own screen. So if you've got anything particular you want to work through, we can just jump on and help you out with that quite quickly.
How do I transfer the timeline to this app? There's not a one-to-one transfer. You have to decide which events you want to share with people. And so the timeline is very granular. And this is a little bit more aggregated in terms of what you do, but at this point it's mostly cut and paste into the CalUp app. So there's a little bit of work there, but the process is pretty quick to set up. But even with that, it's a maybe a 2 to 3 hour project to set up a wedding.
I think we're now caught up together on the same one. Yeah, I see some of your questions about syncing and sharing. That's quite similar to what you've just answered. So no current sync share. To clarify, did you go through this one, Pete? Is there an app for the planner? Did you?
I answered that. Yeah. We're down at there's 8 new ones at the bottom that we haven't answered yet. So
we'll blast through those. We currently do not collect phone numbers for guests, but we have to have for this, correct? Yeah, so it's either phone numbers or email. What I would say though is we have obviously our spreadsheet, so you can give that to the couple and say, would you mind kind of adding them here? That's probably the easiest and most straightforward way to do them, in that sense, and then you'll have all the access there.
Yeah. So will we be able to merge your checklist in AP or manually add the tasks to? Yeah, you would add them. I'm not 100% sure on Aisle Planner how it would work, but I think you would just add this kind of group of checklist items to the custom checklist in Aisle Planner. Is that right, Sarah? Oh, she's muted, Adam.
Oh, can I not unmute? Oh,
sorry.
No worries. I did it myself at the beginning just in case
you probably didn't chiming in and we didn't hear. I'm sorry.
No, I feel bad.
No, it's totally fine. I muted myself in case my dog barked or something, and then couldn't unmute myself. Yeah, so there are a few different aspects in regards to communicating it in with Aisle Planner. One, when you download all the information from the Aisle Planner RSVP list, there is a location within the RSVP guest list to include a phone number. So if you do download that, then you can upload it back into CalUp so that you can put all of that information for your RSVP list right in there. You can also download by the if you've created different events, i.e. a shuttle event or something like that, you can download that separately as well to kind of have that easy point of contact as you upload it. Now, from a checklist conversation, yeah, what I would usually recommend is, remember, this is more of your leading up to and day of event communication device, right? And Ricky, I think you mentioned or asked something about the timeline. As of right now, this wouldn't be your overarching timeline for the vendors. However, it is actually something that Pete, Adam, and I have discussed as a future forward option for planners to be able to have a timeline in here and actually do timeline management with their vendors in here as well. But when you're looking at it from a checklist standpoint, if you need to do anything like a custom checklist, or if you want to add it into your AP checklist, hey, it's time to set up CalUp. Obviously, you can put that in very easily and just have it as part of your standard checklist template that gets pulled into the event. I'm not sure what other aspects of the checklist in AP you would really need to add into this feature, just because it is more so that few days before and day of communication with guests as opposed to your couple directly. But if you have any questions like that, Michelle, please don't hesitate. Just shoot us a quick email, and we can go into it a little bit more in depth if there's something specific you're thinking of. But I hope that kind of answered your question in regard to how you would use it in congruence.
Yeah.
So
I have a great
couple of
question. Does this
coming in.
work? Does this
Good.
work on cellular if there's no Wi-Fi available? Can you hear me, Adam? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So we just released last month
Yeah.
a offline mode. So as long as the person has logged into the app and signed up, before Wi-Fi is off and before cellular is off, everything will be cached in there. So they'll have all the, last time they were online, they'll see all the relevant information that was there. And typically, these events don't get changed on the fly. Obviously, if there's no Wi-Fi, you're not going to be able to change an event on the fly either. So, but yeah, that's a great, kind of big new feature, because we had some rural events and events where Wi-Fi or connectivity was bad. And so this was a great, kind of new addition that we have recently launched.
Okay. So we've still got some more questions. I understand what we're kind of like on for time. Pete and I are good to keep going. So Sarah, if you need to jump, you're more than welcome, but you can also stay on with us. We'll keep answering questions. We'll kind of keep going. And make sure we get through everyone's. I've got a couple here that are worth kind of going.
Go ahead.
Where is it? I had it and I scrolled past it. It's to do with pricing. Can you put the pricing up again, please? Sure.
Yeah, put that. And then I'll go. How do we make extra money? By charging couples more for having it as part of a package. Yeah, so as I mentioned, it's some people have offered it as an add-on and say, hey, we can add guest coordination services for $400, more. And it's just, if you have it early on in your kind of your list of services that are optional, and the couple may say, kind of no out of the gate, but as the wedding gets closer, we found, more and more people want to opt into it. They start getting more nervous as the wedding date. Like, how are we going to communicate where people are going to meet for the photos? Or how are we going to make sure everybody gets on the shuttle? And we say, well, we have this option that we can add to the wedding. And so we see generally that's how, because, we've only been doing this for about a year. So last year we got added into weddings kind of in flow, as opposed to, when everybody started planning at the outset. I think it'll be more interesting this year as more planners are kind of using it for the second kind of year around to see how it gets incorporated up front. But I think it's still, a learning process there as you add this to your services.
Yeah. I've got one on pricing here whilst I'll leave this up. How long is the pricing today good for before it reverts to original pricing? So this is kind of the not close. This is the only thing you have to do. As long as you sign up for a trial before the February 15th, or on February 15th, but as long as you sign up for a trial before then, this pricing is good all year. And the way essentially it's going to work is you'll sign up for the trial, and one of our team, and me, Pete, or someone else will reach out, and we'll give you two codes. We'll give you a code for a free wedding and a personal code for 20% off. And that 20% off code is good all year this year. So you'll get this pricing all year round. Or as I say, all you have to do is sign up for that trial before February 15th and just kind of give it a go. And you'll get the two codes sent over.
Somebody added a cool summary takeaway here, which is pretty interesting. But
I saw that actually. Yeah.
We'll
Otter is awesome. It's a virtual assistant that creates a dictation of your call and then summarizes for you in AI. Yeah.
Love it. Haven't seen it.
Very cool.
Is it strictly for guest experience on the day of the event? No. We've had people use this for engagement parties, earlier on. So when you sign up for an account, it's good for a year. So you don't want to sign up for an account 18 months out from a wedding. But typically people will sign up, 3 months to 6 months out. And some people will sign up, 9 months out, but you can use it for that full entire year after you sign up. So any events that happen pre or post wedding, you can use it for those as well. Right now, this is a day of guest experience. Yeah, I would say I'd say 80% of the, generally the way people use it right now is they use it for a welcome party, a rehearsal dinner, and then day of, and maybe morning after. And that's the primary use case we see. We see variations on that, but I would say 80% of the weddings are that kind of use case, just to be clear. Can you set it up on the computer? And it will go, yeah, you set it up on the computer and then publish to the phone for everybody. Yeah.
I'll do this one from Mandy at the bottom. I think there's a couple more above this, Pete, if you want to scroll up, but I'll do this one from Mandy here. So Manny says, I think it'll be great to increase pricing on wedding management, but use this as a value add selling point. Like I include aisle planner on all my packages and they can't pull it out, but I'm able to increase pricing, but show that I added something great in there. So I'm using $24 for up to 100 guests. If you end up adding that, does it automatically charge the difference? Oh, so there's actually two questions there. I thought they followed on. So for the starting question, yeah, I see that a fair bit, where people kind of add this as part of their full service solution and potentially raise prices a little bit. I see that happen quite a lot with planners, and they use it as an extra value add and use it across all of their weddings. So yeah, I think if that's the approach you want to take, go for it. You kind of have our blessing across any approach you want to take, and we kind of recommend anything there. And for the pricing, like 24 for Lily up to 100 guests, if you end up adding to 105, no, you will basically be capped out. So you will not be able to add the extra 5, and it will say, you need to upgrade up to the next one above. What I would say, this is probably not the best advice from our standpoint, but if you had a wedding of 105 people, there's probably 5 people you wouldn't include. It may be kids that, for example, without cell phones. So think about who you're actually going to invite to CalUp. If there's any kids coming, they generally don't get invited to CalUp, that sort of thing. Just if you're right on that edge of like 101, 102, you'll probably be okay with it.
And the difference is like $15 to upgrade to
Exactly,
Rose or something like that. So it's not that big of a deal if you go over, and then you've got overhead. And so we generally recommend if you're going to have a 80 person wedding and then some vendors and some other people like that, it's probably going to get over 100. And so you might want to, you can start with Lily, and the system will prompt you when you kind of hit the limit.
Yeah, but it won't just automatically upgrade you in that sense.
Yeah.
Is the first free wedding you provide limited to an invited guests? I'll clarify with Peter, but I actually don't think it is. We're open for the first wedding, right? It's any number of guests.
Any number. I think, yeah, we'll verify that, but I believe we said it was for an orchid plan.
Yeah. So that's up to 500. That is our cap in general. So yeah, you're open there. The link to start the trial. Oh, hang on. Let me just. So that link. I'll just make sure. I think we've got another link there.
Okay.
Here's actually what I'll do. I'll quickly pull this up. This is worth reviewing. Quickly show you guys this. So let me share the screen here and go to this one. Okay, so this is our CalUp website. To sign up for a trial, Pete, can everyone see this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom
up a little bit. Zoom up. Yeah. There you go.
You can sign up. Put your name in. Adam plus. Obviously put your known email in. There's actually no passwords as well, which people do tend to quite like. Nothing to remember. You just get a one-time code whenever you need to log in. And I'll remember it per device as well. So you go in there, free trial, no card required or anything like that. It's just this one here underneath Lily, and the trial works for like a Lily level of account. But it's a trial. You can put anything you want here. You can put in your business name and a demo on the end, or you can put in like a couple's name if you have a couple in mind. We do loads of stuff. So I'm going to put in CalUp weddings demo. And that's the title of the account. And this is what people see as that kind of headline title on each one.
Right. And if you want to experiment with the trial, it's a 30-day trial. And then, basically that you can use your promo code to upgrade that to the full orchid plan for your first wedding, if you like. It's kind of easy. Once we give you the promo code, you can just upgrade the plan to whatever plan you want for your free wedding.
So as you get into the trial here, there's only a couple of things to do. Title, you can put a short description in. You can upload an image or a photo of a couple. The venue location is the big one. So you'll click enter venue location. I'll do the same as what we did for the demo. So it's Hotel Californian. And select here. And that'll do that. Fill out all the details. And you click create. And that's you in on the trial. And that's you kind of ready to go. It'll give you a little product tour, that kind of thing.
And so what you did there, you picked the primary location for that wedding. So probably where the reception is happening is generally the primary location. And it's all Google locations. Any street address you can put in there.
So what I'll do is I'll put this link directly.
Questions, Sarah?
Well, I was just going to say, Adam, do you want them to use the aisle planner link in order to ensure that they get referenced as an aisle planner
Oh,
user.
yeah.
Yes. Good point. Good point.
Okay. So
Yes.
I just dropped that in there as well, although
Okay,
it didn't look like
perfect.
it worked.
That link didn't work. for
Can
some
I
reason.
pin it? Yeah, I think you had our temporary link, but I'll give you. Yes, I'll make sure
I
you've got
just
that.
I just dropped another one, but I don't know.
Didn't work, yeah.
Looks like it errored. Yeah.
Let me put it in, see if that works. But
Okay.
this should go to everyone in the meeting, and there's the link you want to use.
No,
Okay.
it
It's not the same one.
it's not working.
Oh, I can see it
It
from my end.
No, but
when
it's
you
not.
click on it, when you click on it, Pete, it does take you to the right address. I don't know why it's breaking it up like that. But
Okay.
if you click on it, it looks like it's taking you to the right
Okay.
site.
Okay.
So.
Cool. All right.
And what we'll do, I can after the call as well. So we'll follow this up and we'll put that link in the email as
Yeah.
well to make sure everyone goes to the right place and sees the hour planner stuff.
Awesome. Kashmir said it works. Great.
Perfect. Let me come back to hold this up still whilst we've got it, and I'll see if we've got any last kind of questions, and then we'll start thinking about wrapping up here. So what have we got here? First free weddings not limited. Have to jump, but thank you so much for introducing us to CalUp. No worries. I'm looking forward to kind of speaking to a few more planners. I'm sure you'll have some questions, or you might want to jump on a quick call. As I say, that's always available. So go for it. We're looking forward to kind of seeing you all on here. So I have a wedding mid March. I have to sign up for a trial by 15th of February, but then use the free wedding to service that wedding because it's past 30 days, right? Yeah. So you can't. We would ideally prefer you not to. Well, it's up to you, but the trial is just to get up to speed with the software. You would then go onto my account and get a new wedding and use your code there. That'll give you a year of access, which is kind of the big part of this. That gives you a year of access on that account.
Adam, go to the demo, the web page, and just show this.
Oh, okay. The my accounts page.
Yeah, go to the dashboard and just show.
I did just log out, but I'll go back in.
Yeah. And basically, from the dashboard, there's a profile, which is kind of your profile for your planning business. And as you drop down, you'll see settings for each event, and you'll see a My Accounts. And in that one place in your login, you'll see all the different weddings you're doing. So go back to the dashboard, Adam, for one of them. Okay. Yeah. So click on profile. And here's where you can get support. You can see settings for the event. And this is basically, the name of the couple and kind of account information, that sort of thing. Mobile admin, you can send yourself on the mobile admin link, you can send yourself a text. So you can log right into the mobile admin page on your phone. Just one more easy way to get into that mobile admin page. And the next one is My Accounts. So on My Accounts, if I click on this one, I'll see all my weddings on one page. Click on that, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you'll see all your weddings on one page. You can go into each wedding and manage each wedding individually. And it's, it may get confusing if you have two Olivia and Michaels over time, but you'll see the date on them. And we're gonna start putting more things into manage when somebody has 50 plus weddings or something like that. We'll have more tools for managing that over time, but for now it should work fine. Ricky asked, give us some verbiage on how to sell your clients. We've got some information on it, so we'll send out an email follow-up on how planners have sold this to their clients so far, just to give you some selling points.
We have a page on our site all about kind of adding it to your own site and that kind of thing, and how you can kind of showcase it.
Yeah. And you see the last question there from Kashmir Events. Adam, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, I can go for it. Someone who's super busy is a really fast track to get this started. I have anxiety just thinking of it. I totally get it. And it's something new to add in, so I do totally get it. I would say just take it a bit at a time. Go for the trial. Get started slowly. Try a first wedding. And honestly, once you get in, you will get much more up to speed very quickly.
Yeah, there's nothing to it but to do it, kind of thing. And I think I think you'll find it's pretty intuitive to use, and we're standing by to help. We definitely jump on, we have our calendars open where you can book a 15-minute call. even if you're just getting started the first time and you have a 15-minute break and you want to jump on, usually we only have a 2-hour buffer on our windows where we'll take a call, and we're doing this kind of all the time with planners. But we'll send out that book a time link as well, and that's available, kind of all the time. And if you have a special request, even out of hours, we'll respond to that.
Yeah, exactly. We've got good support, so you're always welcome to kind of jump in on that. And one last question: do we pay as soon as we sign up for the wedding? Yeah, you pay when you sign up. Remember, use your code that I'm going to send you. So you'll sign up for the trial. Remember to use your code. That'll get you a discount. And then you pay there and then. Yeah. And then thanks for everything. Got to run. I was the last person. Really excited about this, which is great to hear. If there's any last ones, kind of drop them in now, and we'll wrap up. But it's been great to have everyone on. It's been fantastic. There's been a lot of people here, kind of asking questions. It's great to see everyone really engaged.
Yeah. Sarah, thank you so much for the opportunity to do this with you guys, and we're really looking forward to working with you more as we go.
No, absolutely. Well, thanks for creating a great, valuable application for our planners and for our event professionals out in the industry. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity here. So I was excited to introduce you guys to our community and give them another resource and opportunity to increase their guest experience. So thank you guys. Thank you for all of your time. I know that went longer than we expected, but love all of the questions. Thank you all for doing that. Lenny, really quickly, just put in, I think I already know the answer for this, but I believe the answer is yes. Put the code in for every new wedding that you add. It's not like it's going to auto attach.
Personal code, yeah. It's your own code.
Yeah, you'll have your own code. And when you go to add an account, you'll go through the Stripe kind of checkout process that we have integrated here, and you'll just take your code, put it in there, and it'll apply your code. And so the first time you do it, you'll have two codes. You'll have a code for a free wedding, and you use that once. And then for every subsequent wedding, you'll use your other code, which is going to be the 20% off code. They'll be named very clearly, so you know which one is which.
So thank you, everybody. I know we were really excited when Pete initially kind of contacted us in regards to this platform and this opportunity to provide another valuable resource to our community. So glad you guys all came. So glad you guys were all as excited about it as we are. I think it's a great resource, a great option for you to share with your clients. So as Pete and Adam mentioned, we will. I mean, Kashmir, you can use it for anything. Yes, we've kind of dictated it as, or there's kind of that overall conversation of wedding, but absolutely. I mean, you can put the title of the event as anything that you want. So social events, corporate events, anything where you have a registered attendee list, you should be able to utilize this type of feature.
Yeah, you just changed the title from Jack and Jill's wedding to XYZ event, and it'll look, totally indistinguishable.
Exactly. And yeah, I think it's really nice that it's not super branded in a wedding or a high social context. So definitely utilize ability to be utilized for any of your events and any type of event. But thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate your time. I appreciate everybody else's time, and excited for everybody to give it a go. And as they mentioned, we'll send out an email with follow-up information, contact information, etc., so that you guys can get started.
And a link to the recording if you want to go watch again.
Yeah, absolutely. Or send it out to the rest of your team.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. See you guys.
Have a great one, guys. Bye.